Hey everybody, and welcome to another installment in the Halo implementation series. With me today, again, as always, I think if you're a subscriber to this channel, you'll know what I'm about to say now. I'm with my favorite person at Halo, Mr. Halo himself. He loves it when I call him Mr. Halo. In fact, I know they had to actually fit a new door, not only in the office, but actually in his house as well. I drove past the other day and I saw the scaffolding building a much bigger door for him to get in because of his big head. So yeah, really good to have you again, Mr. Halo. How are you doing?
Always a pleasure. Yeah. Did you see the plaque that I've got outside my house as well now?
Exactly. I did. Yeah. And I think you had to buy a convertible as well, right? So you could actually have your head sitting in the
Yeah.
No,
First
I'm kidding.
world problems. No, absolutely.
And
Yeah, good to be back.
good to be back. And today, on the previous video, we spoke about kind of creating reports and charts and dashboards and all those kind of things. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to extend it a little bit more, and like, how do we get that information that we've just created in front of our customers, right? How do we talked about composite reports, and that's one way to get them to the customers, but what about a pretty nice dashboard that we can put onto the portal and all that kind of stuff? So we're going to talk about that today. So yeah, I'll hand it over to you, Morgan, to go through showing us how to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think the plan will be to create a very basic dashboard, present that on the portal for our customers, and then discuss how we can apply dollar variables in our report data to make sure that the content of the report, the data that is returned, is specific to the customer. But we'll come back to that in a moment. So, creating a dashboard. Hopefully you've watched the previous video, so you should know that we go to configuration, reporting, dashboards, and let's create a new one. Let's call it self-service dashboard. We want our dashboard to be in app, at which point we get our layout tab, and let's add a couple of widgets in here. So I might want to show tickets by priority, and I want to show the chart of that, and I want to show the chart that corresponds to our open tickets by priority report. There we go. Let's do tickets by category. Same thing. I want the chart. Sorry, I want the chart. And then let's do feedback. Let's do the chart there as well. Feedback from tickets. There it is. And then finally, I might want to show P1 tickets. Or P1 incidents, let's call it.
And this is what covered off on the previous video in terms of what all these types mean and things like that. So go and have a watch of that if you haven't already seen it.
Yeah. Right. Well, we don't have any P1 tickets. That's good, but not for this example. Let's just do open tickets. Open tickets. All open tickets. Just as an example of getting some information in there. Perfect. Save that. Cool. Now, our dashboards, similar to our reports, have got user access conditions that can be applied to them. So, of course, we need to ensure that this dashboard is going to be available to the individuals who need to see it. And that might be everyone. And we'll talk about the potential concerns with this, but it might be a particular user or a particular customer record. But for now, we'll just do everyone. You'll also see here that we can actually publish our dashboard. We do this internally in our office. We've got dashboards that we have built, and we publish this link and we put it on a monitor. So, of course, if you want to return a dashboard in the office on a big screen, you can publish that and navigate to this URL.
Like a wallboard type thing, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Right. So we've set our user access. We've got our dashboard. How do we return this on the self-service portal? Now, a couple of sessions ago, we took a look at the self-service portal configuration and more specifically the menu buttons against our self-service portal options. One of which that we might have not discussed, but important nonetheless, is a menu button to return a dashboard, or the list of available dashboards for the customer. So what we want to do is we want to go to self-service portal. We want to go to configuration, self-service portal, and we want to add a menu button in here that is my dashboards. Lovely stuff. Again, head back to the video where we had a look at the self-service portal config to get an understanding of all of the options in here. I'm going to brush over them for now. And there it is. And so now on our home screen, we've got our My Dashboards option. There's our self-service dashboard. And there we can see the dashboard that I've just configured and the associated reports within. So, assuming that you have the reports that you want to return on the dashboard and the charts configured that you want to return on your dashboard, it's very simple to create these dashboards and present them to your customers. Again, this is a pretty poor example of what you would, well, it's not the worst, but you could definitely do a lot better than what I've done here with just a little bit of planning. What I would recommend people do is think about the QBRs that they're currently sending to their, their different customers, the most valuable customers, the different tiers of customers they have. Think about the reports in those QBRs, put them on a dashboard and say, you don't have to wait until the end of Q3 to get these metrics anymore. You just need to go to our self-service portal and check in on those metrics in real time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I mean, and another use case for that, I think, is things like, contracts expiring or assets expiring or something like that customers might be interested in. And I personally do that as well. I do a lot of the consulting I do. I sell blocks of hours, and customers want to know, are my blocks going to expire? So what I've done is exactly this: is published a dashboard on the portal to say, here's the information broken down by customers, so they can log into the client portal and they'll be able to see how many hours they've got left and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and these kinds of these QBRs, these meetings that you have with your customers, it goes both ways. It's not just a matter of proving your worth, but it's also about making sure that the customer that you're talking to is profitable for you. And if they're not, then something needs to change, or you need to fire the customer. And what better way to open that conversation up other than showing the raw data right there? You might have a profitability percentage number that you have on this dashboard, and you have your catch up with your customer, and you say, look, we're going to have to increase your monthly fee because, as you can see right here, you are not profitable for us anymore or right now. And here are the list of tickets that prove that you are no longer profitable to us. So, data-driven conversations are always the most effective. Numbers don't lie. And so, the dashboards that you present can be powerful, not only improving your worth, but also making sure that the customer understands their worth to you as the MSP.
Yeah, and I actually coined a phrase, and I call that fact-based decision making, because you have the facts in front of you. You can now make decisions, certainly in your business, both you as the MSP and the customer, based on the facts that you have in front of you. So, and you're right. I mean, publishing a dashboard to your customer about, things like, here's our worth, right? This is why you're paying us £500, euros, whatever it is per month, or 1,000 per month, because these are all the things we've done for you. and actually look at all these tickets and how many of these we've actually given you away for free. These haven't been included in your contract, or they shouldn't have been, but we've included them. So it really gives you the ability to kind of say, this is how good we are. And actually, I like that feedback one is, look how good you think we are, Mr. Customer. And maybe on that particular one, I might, you might want to anonymize a lot of that, but kind of go, well, it's not just you, Mr. Customer, but look how all of our other customers actually, think about us. They all kind of rate us and think we're great, as do you. And this is why why we're good, and how we can justify what we charge you every month. So really, really powerful having this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we go any further, before we talk about the next piece, I just want to mention one other feature of dashboards that is very powerful. In particular, I'm thinking about for a project management type dashboard, and that is the ability to add custom filters to your dashboards. Now, how these work is you add your filter in, you give it a name. Let's just say ticket. Give it a sequence. You've got this filter column section. So what this filters option does is it will filter all of the reports in your dashboard based on the filter that you have here. Now, the filter column is important because this is the column that is being filtered by. So if we're talking about a project management dashboard, we might have a global project management dashboard, open projects, open tasks, unassigned tasks, scheduled tasks, budgetary breakdown, forecasts, all of that kind of stuff. But we might want that dashboard to only return the metrics for a single project. And to do that, we could add a filter in here. And so in order to achieve that, all of the reports in your project management dashboard, or all of the reports in your dashboard, must contain a column in those reports with the name that you specify in here, namely ticket ID or project ID or customer or whatever. And then below, you've got this SQL script, and this SQL script determines the options that you can filter by. So I might want to do select ID. So we don't care about deleted or merged tickets. We don't care about tickets that are pending closure or closed. But beyond that, show me the list of all the tickets in Halo. Save that. Now, when I view my dashboard, if we just go in here and we go to self-service dashboard, we've got this drop down that we can apply our filter to. Now, I've done something wrong, because that should have loaded. So let's see what I did wrong. Where's my typo? Select fault ID symptom from oh, not that one.
Oh, one, yeah, it's that.
Let's try a different.
Nothing like doing things live, right, and trying to get them to work.
I know, right? Yeah. You're gonna edit this out, right?
Yeah. I can edit. No, I'll keep it in because it's
raw and uncut.
Yeah, exactly. And I always say this to customers: it's this is how we all learn, right? Is to make the mistakes and then say, actually, look, we've done this wrong, but the world hasn't ended, and we can just fix it, and we all learn from it. So
I mean, querying the list of tickets shouldn't take that long, but it will take a little bit of time. Oh, I did not do
you didn't
that.
actually add it.
Right.
And
Customer.
you've clearly learned that SQL script for this. You've clearly done this before, because
Yeah.
off by heart. So
A area display. Let's see if that works. That's a little bit better. So we write a very basic report. In this case, I'm getting the list of customers, and then I can select a customer, and the data in the dashboard will be modified based on my selection here, given that the reports have a column called client. So as an example, if I go to my feedback report, or actually, let's go to the all open tickets report. All open tickets. In here, we have not got customer, so let's chuck it in. So that's in our data source. So I'm going to go to the data source, all open tickets for customer. Is that the one that I used? Let's have a look. Let's go back to the dashboard config reporting, dashboards, self-service dashboard, go to the layout. This is using all open tickets, sorry. So we want to go to the all open tickets report. All open tickets, yes, all open tickets does use for customer. So we just want to make sure that that has got a column called client.
yeah.
Which means
It's changing.
is it? I don't.
I thought.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. So, well.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the feedback one. I thought, that was.
That's fine. I'm going to take this out. We're going to talk about what this is in just a moment. This is very important, but I'm going to take it out for now to demonstrate these filtering options. So now, bang. Let's go clear my cache. Go here, go to self-service. There are many tickets because we've done it for all customers. Let's give that a minute to load. But if I change this to Terry's chocolates, this will update, he says. I might be using a data set that's a little bit too large. All open tickets is quite messy.
Yeah.
So there's the client column. The all open tickets report. Let's just truncate that a little bit. Let's make that a little bit quicker to load.
Maybe make it just like for this month or something.
Yeah, well, I'll just do like a top 50 or something, just so it, yeah, we're loading 2,000 records. It's not going to be very meaningful to present 2,100 tickets to your customer on the portal. So try that. Just going to refresh that page. Right, no longer 2000 records. Let's change this. It's not changing. What have I done wrong? So we go in here and we go to our dashboard, we go to our filters. We need to make sure that the filter column is, yeah, that needs to be added. Yes, yes. That I think is the problem. Let's just check that. There we go. Right. So yeah, sorry about that. The issue there was in our filters. The ID column needs to be the same data type as the column in your reports. So in my report, I had a column with column header client, but that column was the customer name. Therefore, we need to make sure that the ID column in this small report is also the customer name. So the display option is what you see in the drop down, and the ID column is what we're actually filtering on. So the reason it wasn't working is because I was using the customer ID as my filter when in fact I needed to use the customer name. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah,
we got there eventually. Now, I took a very important piece of SQL out of that data source. Let's go back to it. Now, when we saw that dashboard on the portal, what that was actually returning to us was data across all of our different clients. So we didn't have any kind of restriction in place to say that when an individual from customer A logs into the self-service portal and views that dashboard, only return the data for customer A, only return the data for
so you don't have everything in that drop down.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Now, the solution there is to include something like this. So we can place variables into our reports. Again, this is something that we touched on in the session where we had a look at adding a report to an invoice PDF. We saw that we can make use of the invoice ID variable, which would then return report data relevant to the invoice that's being generated, namely a breakdown of billable time that is billed on that invoice. Well, there's two other very important, well, there's a couple of other important variables, probably four other very important variables to consider. Three of them are very closely related: $site ID, $user ID, $client ID. And those variables will be replaced with the respective value based on the end user who is logging into the self-service portal. So if the end user has ID 1234 and we're using $user ID, it will only show that individual's report data.
Yeah.
Similarly for site/client, that's depending on the site/client that the user is a member of. And the only sort of contingency, the only constraint there is you need to ensure that you're querying the correct column. So in this case, area int is the column in the tickets table that returns the client ID. So we need the area int column to equal $client ID, And then that way, the report data is dynamic based on the individual that's looking at it. So you don't necessarily have to put that in. If you're not putting that in, you need to ensure that you're filtering your data by a particular customer and only returning those reports, that dashboard, to that customer. Or you can create one global dashboard that everyone can view, but every report in that dashboard must have a client ID filter as a minimum, potentially even site ID or user ID. So yeah, very important point to consider there. One other variable is $agent ID. And $agent ID is replaced with the agent ID based on the agent logging into Halo. And that's important if we want our support technicians to have a dashboard on their home screen that shows their own metrics. So we might have a dashboard that is published on the big screen in the, in the support room that shows global metrics, SLA compliance, P1 tickets. You can even put a bit of gamification in there and have a leaderboard on that dashboard. And then for an individual logging into Halo, their home screen can be their own specific support metrics. Yeah, that's that.
Excellent. That was really good. That was and I think that's really kind of helped people to understand how to put these onto the dashboard, and get that client specific information on there. So yeah, really good. Obviously, as we said before, if you've got to the end of this video and you confused as heck and you don't know what we're talking about, then go and watch the previous video that we did, which is all about reports and how they work and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, as always, Morgan, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And thank you to Halo as well for allowing us to do this. I know it's taken a lot of your time out of the office, and I really appreciate it. And I know the community appreciates this. We're getting a lot of feedback on these videos, so they really are helping. So thank you so much for that. Do appreciate it, and look forward to speaking to you on the next one.
Yeah, always happy to help. Yeah, looking forward to the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.